let's talk about the positive stuff now, right? The
Yeah.
positive emotions now. Uh, like, what is true love for you, in your personal definition?
True love for me.
Yeah.
Do you want it to be based upon?
Okay. Do you believe in love to begin with?
Of course.
Okay. What is true love?
Well, to me, true love is God.
Okay.
Because I feel like God is love. And
Okay.
his love is unconditional for us. So to me, true love is unconditional. True
Okay.
love is someone who passionately and genuinely cares about you.
Okay.
And true love is just falling in love with that same person over and over and over again every day.
Okay.
True love is despite what's, hardships that you guys may go through, you overcome it with because you love that person.
Mm-hmm.
So true love for me is just someone who's going to stick with you no matter what and just constantly be there for you and
Okay.
love you.
So how important do you think intimacy and sex it is in a relationship?
Well, God
Cool.
created us,
Okay.
to, of course, have intimacy with one another. So I feel like that's very important, with doing it the right way, so.
What do you mean doing it the right way, though?
Well, to
Because
me,
the reason why I ask that question, right? When you ask different people, they will say, "Oh, they they the physical part doesn't, it's not everything, right? Like and that, like you said, the reason why you and I were here is because of that sexual energy, right? And they will say it's not everything, but and we all looking at it. We all look at it in from the male perspective. For us, it's everything. It's a deal breaker, right? I don't know. I can't speak for women, but again, when you ask different people, you get different answers. Like for you, what is that for you? Like, do you think it's very important, or it's like should be in the middle of it, but
I
somehow
think
important?
I think it should be based upon something special between a special bond between you and your significant other.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think that's always just, you know, something beautiful to share together. So, yeah.
You're running away. As a church girl should do, right? Okay. All right. What are you hopeful for right now in your life
What am I
at this
hopeful
moment?
for?
Yeah.
I'm hopeful for all the things that I'm supposed to have in my life.
Like what?
Like what?
Get married.
Of course.
Okay.
I'm
Money.
hopeful. Yep. Just financially, just everything. Just like I feel like whatever your desires are,
Okay.
I'm just hopeful for all of my desires to come true.
So, what is your greatest desire right now? Name one.
My greatest desire?
If I'm God, and I said I pretend to be God, say name one desire right now. I'll grant you a wish right now. What will it be?
To be in His will. And when I say that,
what does that mean?
Being in God's will allows everything else to come. You know what I mean? Because like if I'm in His will, no good thing will He withhold from they that walk upright. Okay. So if I'm in His will, nothing will He withhold from me. So that's everything else that I may desire. So being in His will allows everything else to come to me. Does that make sense?
It makes sense to me. At the same time, I'm asking you to give me one thing you're desiring right now, and I'll grant you a wish.
But that is my desire.
Okay, so you don't want anything. You don't want money. You don't want health. You don't want.
Of course, you want those things, but above everything, my desire is what God desires for me.
Okay, so you're leaving it up to Him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the first time I hear that though. Most people would say the most material thing you could ever possibly think about, like money, maybe health, maybe success. Something always related to the material. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not the supernatural stuff. Like you said, leave it up to Him.
Yeah.
Who's Him anyway?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't even know Him.
Yeah.
But that's the first time I hear that. Are you an optimistic person?
I'm sorry?
Are you an optimistic person?
An optimistic, of course.
Okay, how do you keep that state of mind? Like, always positive state of mind?
I think one is what's embedded in you. Because I feel like I've always been that way since I was a kid. It's like just my upbringing, like being in an atmosphere where I never had to worry about growing up in D.C. They would have to worry about
just
all the violence and negativity. it's like I'm oblivious to all that stuff because that's not how I was raised.
Okay.
So I could walk down the street thinking that everything is okay, but it's like, no, watch out for this, watch out for that. And it's just like, okay, well, I'm not used to that, but now I have to be open to that.
Yeah.
So being optimistic is just what's embedded in me, how I was raised. Just basically trying to keep a positive aspect and attitude towards life in general. And just knowing that, one, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Two, God will work all things out for your good. So even the bad things that happen, God's going to work it out for you, no matter how it looks. So that keeps me being optimistic. And on top of that, who likes to stress and worry? So if you constantly stress and be negative, that's not going to do anything for your life but bring you down a dark hole. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you got to try to look at the good in life because the sun always shines, right? Isn't that something beautiful to look at every day?
Yeah, like you said, right, your upbringing kind of play a big role.
Yeah.
You know, that's the reason why I was telling you earlier, right? It's whatever we go through in our early stage, that's exactly what we carry over. Because people who tend to grow up in a like environment that is really like with the negative stuff that we talked about, then they don't have an optimistic view of life, right? They always stay in that dark area.
Yeah.
And you see what happened to people most of the time from the hood. I'm not saying people in the hood are bad, but most of the times like prisons, you know what I mean, prison sentence, like single family household, and the father's not there, the mom is not there, drugs, and it doesn't go anywhere from there.
Yeah.
So
but then there are people who try to see the good in that.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, well, I'm grateful that I have a mother. Hey, I'm grateful that we still got a roof over our heads. Some people take the littlest things and still, be grateful and enjoy it. You know what I mean? So you can see a lot of kids who, like you said, is in the hood and stuff like that, but they might be running around enjoying life. Because one, they got friends, they got family, they got food to eat, like, if that. You know what I mean? So sometimes it just depends on the person who always wants to look and view, the good in things, in my opinion.
So it's more like your outlook, right? Your state of mind, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so how big is loyalty for you?
Loyalty? Loyalty is big because at the end of the day, you want somebody who is going to be there for you regardless and not turn their backs on you. Especially giving 100% to somebody, you want somebody to value that and give you the same as well. So,
Cool.
And that's with anything, friends, family, relationships. So
the thing so that I always tell people about though, how do you gauge that? Like how do you gauge people's loyalty? You can't even be sure of that until something like very major happens, and then you're kind of looking at people as if they're gonna really really stand behind you, and everybody disperse, and you stand in the middle by yourself. That's when you know exactly if people are really loyal.
Exactly.
And we see it all the time, like with the drug dealers, even with families. When you start to get money now, people are gonna start getting greedy. And then the minute you say no to one person, then guess what? The loyalty is gone. Then they're somewhere mouth talking to you. You know what I mean? So how do you gauge that?
But you should be okay with that because that literally shows you who that person is ultimately. That shows you their heart. So at the end of the day, that's just to me God just revealing what's inside of them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's a blessing in disguise whether you see it or not because you want people around you that's good and genuine about you. Not people who will break and fold or turn their backs upon you. Like even Jesus went through that. You know? He had Judah Issachar that betrayed him.